Akron, Ohio. A city steeped in industrial history, with neighborhoods wrapped in both grit and resilience. It was in one of those neighborhoods, under the warm skies of early May, that a young woman named Taylor Robinson disappeared without a trace. She was 19 years old, smart, compassionate, and full of ambition. It was a case that seemed to arrive quietly and then echo endlessly. Taylor vanished on the night of May 3, 2013. She had been doing what she always did, helping others. She worked as a home healthcare aide, taking care of individuals with disabilities, often working overnight shifts while juggling college classes during the day. That night, she went to care for a patient. By morning, Taylor was gone. Only her shoes and medical bag were left behind. The home she vanished from was secure, the doors locked from the inside. There were no signs of a break-in, no struggle, no screams, and no evidence of where she might have gone. The only truth that would emerge was this: someone had taken her. Taylor Robinson wasn't a girl who went unnoticed. She was the kind of person who made her presence known through kindness and quiet strength. She attended the University of Akron, where she was studying early childhood education. Her goal was to become a teacher. To help pay for tuition, she worked as a caregiver through a local health agency. Her friends described her as loyal to a fault, and her mother, Carmen Robinson, said Taylor was the kind of daughter every mother prays for. That spring, she had been pulling double duty, classes by day, caregiving by night. Exhausted but determined. The home she was scheduled to work at on the night of her disappearance was in Akron's west side, in the 700 block of Kipling Avenue. It was a quiet street. The patient she cared for was wheelchair-bound. According to the patient's mother, Taylor had shown up on time. By 1:30 a.m., she was gone. No one saw her leave. No one heard her leave. When Taylor's family didn't hear from her by the next morning, alarm bells went off. Carmen tried calling her daughter's phone. No answer. By noon, she was on the doorstep of the Kipling Avenue home. What she found was chilling. Taylor's shoes were still by the door. Her bag was in the corner. Her phone gone. The bed she usually slept on during shifts was untouched. The family she was working for claimed they didn't hear or see anything unusual. Police were called immediately. Detectives from the Akron Police Department began a missing person investigation. They interviewed the residents, canvassed the neighborhood, and pulled surveillance footage from nearby stores and street corners. But there was nothing. No video of Taylor leaving. No reports of screams or suspicious vehicles. No trace of her physical presence anywhere beyond that room. It was as if she had been erased. Word of Taylor's disappearance spread quickly. Within days, flyers plastered telephone poles and storefronts across the city. Friends, classmates, and strangers joined search parties that combed through wooded areas, rivers, and alleyways. Carmen Robinson became the face of the search. She organized vigils, did interviews, and made it clear she wouldn't stop until Taylor came home. "This is my daughter," she told reporters. She didn't just vanish. Someone knows something. Early leads trickled in. One neighbor reported seeing a dark sedan parked near the home late that night. Another claimed they heard a woman's voice shout, "Let me go," around 2 a.m., but couldn't confirm where it came from. Police received dozens of tips. They followed them all. And they all led nowhere. By fall of 2013, the case had gone cold. No suspects. No confirmed sightings. No forensic evidence. The lead detective admitted in a press conference that they were grasping for direction. And then came the rumors. There were whispers that Taylor had been targeted, that she may have known something she shouldn't have, that someone in her circle wasn't who they seemed. Online forums buzzed with speculation. Was it the patient's family? A jealous ex? A stranger who followed her home? But the Akron Police Department held firm. No evidence pointed to any individual. Behind closed doors, however, the FBI had quietly joined the investigation. A full year passed. Then, in September 2014, two hikers stumbled upon a partial human skeleton in a wooded area near Cuyahoga Valley National Park, about 15 miles from Akron. The remains were found wrapped in fabric and partially buried. The coroner confirmed what Carmen had feared. It was Taylor Robinson. The cause of death? Undetermined. There were no obvious injuries to the bones. No signs of blunt force trauma. But there were also no clothes, no personal effects, no DNA beyond Taylor's. Police called it a recovery, not a resolution. And Carmen was devastated. "They found my baby," she said. But not the truth. In the aftermath, attention shifted toward possible suspects. Police re-questioned those closest to Taylor. One name came up repeatedly, a man Taylor had dated briefly in the weeks before she disappeared. Their relationship had been rocky, and some friends claimed she was afraid of him. But his alibi was solid. Cell tower records placed him out of town that night. Other theories emerged. Human trafficking. Some believed Taylor had been abducted for this purpose and later killed when things went wrong. Patient involvement. Online chatter grew about the disabled man and his family. Had something happened in that home? Was there a cover-up? Crime of opportunity. Could a stranger have slipped in unnoticed, taken her, and left no trace? But none of these theories ever held water. The case remains open. No arrests have ever been made. In the years that followed, Carmen Robinson transformed her grief into advocacy. She launched the Taylor Robinson Foundation, aimed at helping families of missing persons navigate the legal and emotional chaos of such tragedies. She became a fixture in Ohio's true crime community, speaking at panels, pushing for legislative reform, and mentoring other mothers whose children had vanished. "The worst pain isn't losing your child," she once said in an interview. "It's not knowing what happened to them." She also campaigned for better regulation of home healthcare environments, pointing to the fact that Taylor had been working alone, overnight, in a home without oversight. To this day, Taylor Robinson's death remains unsolved. There were no confessions, no DNA matches, no final messages or goodbye notes, just silence. Yet her story continues to echo. In the flyers still pinned on church bulletin boards. In the annual candlelight vigil held on May 3rd. In the lives of caregivers who now work in safer conditions because of her case. And in Carmen's words, Taylor's life was stolen, but her voice is not lost. We are her voice now. In a world that too often forgets the missing, Taylor Robinson remains a name that demands to be remembered. Not just for how she was lost, but for who she was. A daughter, a student, a caregiver, a light, extinguished, but never gone.